Kathy, what did you make of the speech?
I think that whatever ball team you root for, he knocked it out of the ballpark. And if anyone was, well, look, it certainly has to help. There is not a Republican who watched this speech who didn't watch it with great affection and admiration, unless you're maybe Ted Cruz, and that's only because you want his job.
David Avella, do you think this makes a difference? I mean, obviously it should help, but to what degree?
If there was any question as to who President Bush was supporting, we now have the answer to that after that speech. Look, could it help motivate a few supporters that Jeb Bush already has? Probably. Could it get him a few new voters? Maybe, but questionable. At the end of the day, Jeb Bush has to sell Jeb Bush. It's his policies. Voters have to ultimately believe in him and that he's going to make this country better. And while these endorsements are nice to have, and while rallies like this do help motivate your base of supporters, it's not the ultimate deciding factor in an election like this.
So let me ask you, Senator Brown, today Donald Trump held a long press conference and he talked about perhaps suing Ted Cruz if there's not an apology. Do you think at some point we'll start to see the campaign shift a little bit toward more of the substance of what the next president's going to do?
Well, of course, it's early in the process. And with regard to what's happening with Ted, not only with Marco, but with Donald Trump, is that trying to point out that he's using tactics that traditionally are not used. The whole issue with Ben Carson, drawing into question his credibility and his integrity. And when you call someone a liar, that gives people a chance to look differently at you. And so I think they've accomplished that goal, especially when Marco so eloquently pointed out that he was lying.
I'm sorry, Senator, we got to get in here, but I understand where you're coming from. Hopefully we're past that point.